ask questions for Coach. Let's go to Mike Slarte to start.
Thanks, Preston. Hey, Coach. First one for you. How was the bye week? With a good chance to refresh and recharge. And I see that you're all secondly, I see you're at home facility. You guys aren't at the facility at this point. The challenges that you guys have right now to kickstart things this week and try to get ready for Denver.
Well, this is what the rest of the league is doing for the rest of the year. Monday and Tuesdays not in the facilities. So we had expected to practice today due to our COVID situation. We're virtual. We were pretty much virtual last week, so we've done the best that we can to make sure, coming off, the holiday weekend, travel, all that stuff, trying to make sure we curtail, anything on our end as best as possible. I would have liked to have practiced today just to kind of get back out there and get moving around. That being said, we'll expect that we play really well this week and then we're prepared. So guys are meeting right now. They're meeting on Denver. And then we'll be excited to play. And in terms of the bye week, I thought it was good, to have such a young team and have them play 12 straight games to finally have a chance to kind of catch their breath, heal up a little bit. I'm hopeful that, we'll get Dante and Christian back, for this stretch run and go play 4 great games.
And just a quick follow-up with you guys being virtual, are you able to instruct players to exercise, lift, anything on their own? I know they can't go to the building, but I mean, can they do anything on their own if they've got facilities available to them?
Yeah, they can. I don't, it's just probably not a great practice for us to start instructing guys to do stuff, outside of here. They obviously can't do anything together, but I would not want to, be held liable for anybody getting hurt or anything like that. I want to make sure, everything that I ask guys to do is always under our supervision. But that being said, I think, we'll get back out there Wednesday, hopefully, and be ready to work. And one thing I've learned is teams have been through this intense protocol and through some of these challenges, and they've won. So it comes down to what you do on Sunday. So we're going to get ourselves ready for Sunday.
Thank you.
Let's go to Jonathan Alexander and then Joe Person.
Hey, Matt, hope you're doing well. I'm wondering, did you have any more insight on DJ Moore's ankle?
Yeah, hurt his ankle. Was just trying to rehab to get the swelling out of it. How far it comes, in such a short amount of time. Obviously, I haven't seen him run or anything, but I do know they felt good about it was trending in the right direction.
So there was no need to consider putting him on the IR or anything like that?
No.
Matt, understanding what Bruce said and not asking any specific stuff, but did you get a sense, knowing anything can change any day on this, but do you feel good that you guys have your arms around it and will be able to practice Wednesday and kind of go forward with this week?
I think you said it best. Things can change, daily. Right now, we're planning on practicing on Wednesday. I think the important thing is that trying to always put a wall around these things and make sure it doesn't turn into something bigger. So that's why we've been out of the building for so long, and hopeful that everyone's healthy and we can get started on Wednesday. But I have no insight other than that, really, at this point.
And then a quick follow up. I guess you guys have some kickers in. Can you say whether those, if you sign one or more of those guys, will that be to compete with Sly, or is it a practice squad deal, or how are you viewing that?
It's hard to say without seeing those guys. I think the initial thought was, as I said last week, Taylor, he's used up 4 times with us. So, just want to make sure that we're always looking for other guys to fulfill that role, especially with going to a game with, if something were to happen somewhere, we get sick, making sure we have a good second option. So, as we're always going to try to improve the team if someone pops, but we're also looking for just who's out there, what's available.
Let's go to Elena Gutsenberg and then Steven Toronto.
Hey, Matt, first to kind of just go off that, I mean, how would you describe your current confidence level in Joey and how comfortable you guys are with him right now?
I think I'm comfortable with Joey. I mean, Joey's would be the first guy to tell you he's got to go make that kick. That being said, we got to get the play call into Teddy faster so he has time to see it on third. I mean, that last game came down to a bunch of different things, right? So I walked in and said, hey, it's on me, it's on the coaches, because it's my job to make sure all this stuff goes together. But, we have to score at the end of that game. We can't let someone drive the field in a minute and throw a touchdown against us. Let me to make that kick, but it's all of the above, right? So the thing to me is how Joey and how everyone responds from what happened. Adversity either steals you and makes you tougher and makes you better, or it doesn't. So I have confidence in Joey, and it's really going to come down to where he's at. But it's the same thing at every position. It's not just one thing. He just was the last thing, But there were many things. There's no reason why we should have lost that football game. I mean, it's 8 days ago. I hate going back that far, but so I want to make sure I just don't put it all on him. I mean, it's on. That's why I said it was on me. Like, it should have never come to that. So, but Joey's a young player, and young players go through adversity, and then they either take off or they don't. And so I have a lot of confidence in who he is, and I think if he takes the right approach, it'll make him a really good player.
And then I was
Coach,
curious.
you guys had a bit of a sorry, Elena.
It's okay. I just wanted to check, Christian, do you think he would have practiced today if you guys were out there? And then how did the rest help Dante's toe?
If we practice today, I was expecting Christian and Dante both to be out there. So, I never know until, we're actually out there sometimes, but Christian practiced all the way up through Saturday for the last game, for Minnesota. So, I would have expected him probably to be able to practice.
And then all
Coach,
good.
will you go? Sorry again.
It's just all good with the toe, like did that the weeks off help Dante?
I think it certainly helped. And I don't mean this. I only say that I think Dante feels great. Like, if you were to ask Dante after the first week, he'd have been like, I'm ready to go. It's just a matter of, I think, him getting out there and going. So hopefully the rest has allowed things to heal. And so it's not just a matter of feeling better, but healing. And if Dante's out there, we're a significantly better defense. That's no slight against everyone else. It just means everyone else adds to the mix.
Coach, while you guys were on your bye yesterday, you had a bit of a unique opportunity because your next opponent in Denver had a nationally televised game on Sunday Night Football. I was wondering, did you guys assign your players to watch that game as part of your scouting against the Broncos?
No, I didn't make them watch it. I mean, I would hope that they they would. And my experience has been most of the guys they do, but I watched it, and all of our coaches watched it, and I thought Denver looked really good. You can tell they're a good young football team with a really good defense and a really good young quarterback, and they gave Kansas City all they could handle, had a chance to win it at the end. It'll be a real battle Sunday.
Let's go to David Newton for the next question, and then Skylar Callahan.
Hey, Matt, I hope you had a good bye week. I wanted to ask you, I know you guys were doing some self-evaluation during the bye. What did you learn?
Well, we just looked at some other teams, in some areas that we have to improve, just seeing what some other teams are doing. I think we have a pretty good feel for what we're not doing well. I think it's just a matter of, trying to find some other things that we can take and improve in some areas, So just try to look at some other teams, what they're doing, and seeing, if anything, obviously they have different players, so that might fit their personality, but see if we can take anything to help us.
And I want to follow up too regarding McCaffrey. I know you said you expected him to practice and all. Are you anticipating he'll be back in the lineup on Sunday?
Just what I said. I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm expecting him to practice. There's nothing that would make me think he's not. But just a matter of if he feels like he can go, and But yeah, I'm hopeful he'll play.
Hey, Matt, kind of to follow up on that, what do you, aside from wins, what do you want to see out of your guys out of these final 4 games, and especially out of your rookies? How do you want to see these guys finish out, and what do you in particular want to see from those guys?
Yeah, I told the team today, there's no agenda other than winning. There's no let's take a look at this guy, let's take a look at that guy. I want us to go win games. We've we've done a lot this year to overcome injuries, overcome COVID, hang in games that people thought, hey, we wouldn't have a chance to win, had, come down the stretch of games, all those different things, but we haven't won enough games. And so very simply, sometimes you guys will ask me, how do you, what does it take to learn how to win and all that, like, I want us to go win. Like I want our players to go make the plays down the stretch. I want us to coach well, and I want us to go win. So that's everybody. That's me as the head coach. That's the coordinators, the assistant coaches. I want us to prepare like crazy, and I want us to go out and play our best football and win games.
Let's go to Scott Fowler for the next question, followed by Josh Klein.
Hey, thank you, Preston. Matt, regarding no agenda other than winning, is that the primary reason why you would hopefully play McCaffrey for these last 4 weeks? And was there any thought to ever shutting him down for the long-term agenda as opposed to playing him in 4 games that, while very important, aren't going to put you in the playoffs?
Not by me, not by anyone. So, I've never had that discussion with anyone. At the end of the day, I think there's I know modern society doesn't always see that way, but we get paid, and we have the privilege of doing a job, and it's to play football. And so while many things come along with it, if I coach any differently this week because we're probably not going to go to the playoffs, like that, what kind of coach does that make me? I think that's the same for all of us. Now, I mean, if a guy was in harm's way, that would, I would understand that. But if someone's healthy and they're able to go, then I would think that they would go. Now, if a guy's not healthy, then I have no issue with that. And I think we've been pretty much on record with that all year. We were smart with Teddy with his knee. We were smart with Christian with his ankle. We've erred on the side of player health all year long. But we're football players and we're football coaches, and I just wouldn't be able to look the fans in the eye if I said, like, hey, we're not going to try to win these games. And more importantly, I wouldn't be able to. It's just not what I am. I'm here to try to win, and I think the players are here to try to win. And we want, as I said from the very beginning, like, I want to make this like a serious football place. And what I mean is, when you start like saying, hey, these games are more important than these, and you're only doing it for something tangible, then I think you lose the moral high ground, if that makes any sense. I just think it's our job to go out and play as hard as we can and try to win and try to be a great team for all the people that are watching. So that's what we're going to try to do. And if Christian's healthy, I know him, the competitor he is, he'll want to play. And if he's not healthy, I'll be the first guy saying, hey, bro, don't go out there. But that thought of, hey, sitting a guy for the last 4 games a year to get him ready for next year, I just, I haven't had that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Matt, you talked a little bit about, you've said this in the past a few times, specifically, I think in the Minnesota game, you said if it's 4th and 3, the numbers say don't kick. And if it's 4th and 2, they say go for it. How do those analytics, how do they get to you? What does that process look like? Is there somebody in the headset that's telling you those things, or do you have meetings through the week?
Yeah, there's someone on the headset in the game, and then we meet on Fridays. It's obviously every week it's different based upon our kicker, their kicker, the weather, dome, no dome, line, favorite, all those things. And then there's, gradation. So 4th and 3, you obviously want to talk about the last game. Like you can run it twice, hopefully score, run them down to a minute 10 and make them go 94 yards, right? To try to win with a field goal, or tie with a field goal. As I said after the game, they kicked that field goal at the end of the half. They moved it pretty easily, so I was a little concerned about that. They hadn't, they scored a touchdown the first drive, and then the last drive before that drive. So we'd held them for 50 minutes of the game without a touchdown. So I was kind of banking on they won't be able to score a touchdown against our defense with no timeouts, in a minute 40. If we go up by 6. Kind of the same thing Andy Reid did last night. Andy Reid, they weren't down inside the 10, but it was 3rd and 5, whatever. He threw it They got stopped short. They took a delay of game by mistake, kicked the field goal, went up 6, gave the ball to Denver. Same situation, except Denver had like a minute 6, but then they stopped Denver. So, Taylor's giving me the, hey, at the beginning of each drive, like, hey, here's how much time they can run off. Here's what the analytics say is 100% go. Here's what they say 75% go, to give you an idea of that. And then from there, you have to kind of make that decision, run it down to a minute 10 and run it twice, or, throw it and try to take a shot at a touchdown, but knowing that if you don't complete it, you're not taking that time off, or kick the field goal, go up 6 and say, hey, they've got to score a touchdown. So there's really those 3 things. At the end of the day, I always feel like, and that's the one thing that I think there's a disconnect sometimes between coaches and everybody else. I always feel like I have to make those decisions to put our guys in position to make a play, right? So looking back, would I have liked to have run it? Yes, but we were wide open for a touchdown, so we made the decision, hey, let's throw it here. It's going to stop the clock, but let's throw it here. We weren't able to connect on it. And really that came down to the fatal error in my mind, was that we didn't get the play into Teddy fast enough so he could see the motion, because that play was a check. So if they're not in cover 0, all out blitz, he would have run the ball on that play, but the play got in late. That's why I said after the game, hey, that's on us as coaches. The clock was running. We didn't see it. Play got in. He would have run that ball. We would have been in 4th and 2, and then maybe I'd have made that decision, if that makes sense. But 4th and 3, the numbers leaned more towards kicking it. And I think at the end of the day, like, if we want to win games like that, I have to trust the defense and not give up a touchdown in a minute, So, but I want to make sure I say that about Teddy, because I haven't had a chance to justify what he said after the game yet since then, right? Because no one asked me the day after. But if we get him that play call in on time, he probably hands the ball off on 3rd down, because he has a chance to see the defense, So instead he had to snap it. The guy pops open. He says, "Oh, there, he's open," and we don't hit it. But it's really not fair to him because we didn't get it in on time. And that's not Joe. That goes back to me. So, but in terms of the analytics, it's Taylor giving me the numbers. But then at the end of the day, I have to say, hey, this is what I think, because it really comes down to, Josh, what I think we can do, right? Like against other teams, I might say 4th and 1, 100% go for it, but I have to believe that we can move them off the ball, right, and get that yard. So, I went with, hey, let's throw it. We threw it. We didn't quite hit on it. And then I said, kick the field goal and let's stop them. And, just weren't able to get the stop.
I'm curious about Taylor, and has there been something this season where he said something to you and you've been like, oh, I didn't think of it that way, like he kind of changed your mind in the moment?
It's not really like that. It's more like, hey, we have different colors, like, hey, this, it's pretty much how I was using the same same service back at Temple. Like, it's really like, hey, 90%, like whatever word you use, like, hey, go at 2, so if it's 4th and 2, you're saying, hey, I'm going to go for it. And then, coach's decision at 4. So if it's like 4th and 4, you know what I mean? I think there's times I've asked, Taylor's really smart at this. We sit there every week on Fridays and we watch every end of every game, every 2-minute, every whatever. Like, I think after the Chiefs game, a lot of guys asked me, in terms of, we were methodical on that second to last drive, and why didn't you go faster? Well, if I could score as fast as possible, then I would do it every time. There's kind of a, so the whole point he kept saying to me was, hey, make sure we score a touchdown here. As long as we get the touchdown, we'll need a field goal anyway. We'll have to stop and get a field goal. So he provides really good context along the way, in terms of, we watch every end. Like I said, we watch every end of drive, every end of 2-minute, every replay every week, every coach's challenge every week. And we just kind of talk through them, like, hey, this is why they did this. What will we have done here? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Now let's go to Joe Person for the final question.
Matt, why did that play come in late? And do you think that's been kind of a persistent issue this season?
I don't think the plays coming late has been. I think, there's been times. I think sometimes we are under duress at the line of scrimmage. I think Scott asked me that a couple weeks ago. That's something that we've tried to get better at. I think sometimes it's, I don't want to say anything that sounds like excuses. I just think it's like we haven't gotten better at it. Like, we might have simplified a little bit when PJ was in there, and we didn't really have those issues. I think we try to sometimes, and it depends on who we're seeing. Like, so for instance, like Minnesota's blitz package. Teddy dialed it up. He made all the protection points. It comes down to like 1 second, he snaps it. He hits Robbie on a shallow cross versus their D end. And in that point, you're saying like, yeah, well, we should take the time to make sure the protections are all right. Other times it doesn't. I think that time, to be quite honest, they put the ball in play from the sidelines, and we just didn't, we didn't have someone say, hey, the ball's in play. And again, that goes because we were debating like, hey, run it twice, throw it. And at the end of the day, so that just falls on me. We've tried to assign someone like, hey, let us know. But at the end of the day, it didn't work. And so that goes back on me.
I had a quick procedural question for you too. If you guys are not allowed in the building Monday and Tuesday, would that scrap your kicker workout this week, or how would it get pushed back, or how is that not effective?
Yeah, I'm not going to be there for anything until Wednesday. So I've been doing all football today. I haven't talked to those guys yet in terms of what we're doing, but I'm sorry, I don't have that answer. I don't know that answer.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Coach, we appreciate you hopping on.
All right, guys.